And welcome back to Dave's Shop. I'm Dave, and welcome to Morning Coffee Talk. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. I kept pretty busy. Another little project I was working on. Let me see. What was I wanting to look at this morning? Just give everybody a second so they can gather themselves and get some coffee. Me included. Yeah. Did have a couple of posts over the weekend, but tried to take a little downtime. I was working on a project yesterday that I got finished. So, let me see. I wanted to see if anybody had emailed me. It's like Monday, I don't think everybody wakes up on Monday very quick. Hey, Mark, how you doing this morning? Good morning. Thanks for joining me here on Morning Coffee Talk. Jose, Joseph, Nicole, good morning. Lee, good morning. My Chimley, good morning. Hope everybody got their coffee, got someplace warm. It's in the 30s. It didn't actually freeze last night here, so it's kind of chilly. I didn't turn the heat on out here until just a few minutes ago, so it's still warming up out here. Hey, Steve, how's it going, man? Nicole, I got your email, so I think you're the only one so far that has entered the contest for the pocket knife. So we're going to talk about that today, and I'm going to show the pocket knife again. Anybody who is new here, let me know where you're from, what the temp is this morning. Good morning, 4C671. Jonas Sanders just joined. Good morning, Divine. Jim, hey, how's it going? If you weren't with us Friday, I mentioned the fact that we're going to do a giveaway. No purchase necessary. Just need, if you're interested, we're giving away a Benchmade pocket knife, and I'll show it here in a little bit. Just send me an email to daveshop2@gmail.com. And in the subject, you can either type in raffle, Benchmade, something to let me know that that you want your name entered in the contest. And then I haven't picked exactly what day we're going to do the drawing on, but we are going to do the drawing, and so I just want to make sure everybody has a chance to get their name in the hat for the drawing. So yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you asked that, North 64, because I have that on my list of things to talk about today. That's right. Burlington Brands, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning over here on YouTube. Yeah, today is it's Groundhog Day, and Poxitani Phil, I don't know. I was going to ask how many people thought that they, he would or would not see his shadow. I would say the odds are that that he probably will see his shadow today. That's what I think. And I think, how are you today? I'm glad you're back. We've been here. I'm guessing you've been busy. Phil is probably on vacation in the Bahamas. That's right, for sure. Burlington, I am in Texas, just outside of the capital of Austin. Where are you from, and what's the temp there this morning? So like I said, we are having a raffle for a Benchmade pocket knife. So if you want your name entered in the drawing, make sure you email me at Dave's Shop, the number 2 at gmail.com. In the subject line, either type in Benchmade or raffle so that I know you want your name entered in the contest, Missouri. And then we're going to draw for the pocket knife on during one of the lives. And if you win it, then I will have to email you back and get your full address and phone number so I know where to ship it to. It has to be in the United States too. Hey, Chris, good morning. Burlington over here on YouTube's asking, what do we do? Well, what we do is we have coffee, talk about the day, current events, and today happens to be Groundhog Day. Don from Missouri says it's 20 something. Woohoo! It didn't, this week, I think here in Texas, we're supposed to actually have a warm up, lows probably in the 40, 42, 43 at night. Good morning, Kelly. How you doing this morning? Thank you for joining us. And then it's, we have some days coming up in the next 10 days that they're saying it's going to be 70, 72, 73 degrees. So, yeah, that's not bad, cool in the morning, but nice during the day. Probably great to try to get out and get a little more exercise. That's kind of one of my goals this year is to, I keep saying this, I'm retired, but I don't feel retired, and I'm not sure I'm quite ready to be retired, but I'm staying busy. And so I think maybe, okay, Chris says in the Texas Panhandle, it's low 40s too, is to get a little more exercise, get out and walk. People think that when they say exercise, you got to have a gym membership. That's not necessary. If everybody walked 5 miles a day, 5 days a week, you'd be surprised. It's a slower process, but you'd be surprised. You could easily lose, 15, 20 pounds just from getting a little exercise every day. And I hate to, I don't know why I hate to go to a gym. I don't think I would have ever been a gym rat. And I was an athlete in high school, and I try to stay in decent shape, but don't like it. Don't like the scene. Don't like the vibe. Can't make myself want to do that. But walk, I can do. I can put in my earbuds and, maybe listen to a podcast. Speaking of podcast, if you like podcasts, go check out Reflection. Ed, who is our Lutheran minister that joins us and been joining us for a long time, has a podcast called Reflection. It's on Spotify and Apple Music. So go check it out and just search for Ed Blonsky Reflection. He's got like 5 seasons. He's working on season 6. He has a lot of really interesting guests. So if you're out there and you want to go check out a new podcast, like I said, he's starting on season 6. So there's plenty of material to listen to. Go check him out. Like I said, he's on Spotify and Apple Music. Good morning, Ed. How you doing? Gary Wackerman, how you doing? Good morning. Really that? Happy Groundhog Day, everybody. Yeah. For sure. Anytime, Ed. Yeah, so today is February 2nd. Can you believe February the 2nd? You know, when I had to get up and be off to work every day, it sure didn't seem like the month went by so fast. I don't know. I've had so much stuff going on. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And just so that everybody knows, hey, Jay Chisel, ain't seen you in a while. How's it going, man? I hope you're doing good. It is February the 2nd. It's Groundhog Day, and if it seems like I'm talking about the same thing over and over, it is. I am, because this is on a recorded loop, and it's Groundhog Day. No, I'm just kidding you. So if you're new here, make sure you do all the like, share, follow, subscribe. Thank you. Because I held this off. You know, Ed asked me last week when we were doing question on Friday. Let's see, what does it say? 15 years ago, Groundhog Day, blizzard, 28 inches of snow, 24 hours, 40-inch drifts. Holy moly. Charlamagne Hernandez, thank you for the follow. I always try to go do the exact same. You know, for people who follow, I like to go back and do the same for them. However, you know, if you don't have anything posted, and because I'm limited and how everybody's limited how many they have, I usually just follow people who have you know, videos posted, because otherwise it's pretty difficult to know if you're not a bot, and I don't think you are, but you know, just so you know. Yeah, so everybody do what you do. I've got we need to reach 10,000 followers. I thought about since Ed had asked me about when was the last time I shaved my mustache off, I thought, well, let me see, if we were to get to 10,000 followers in, let's say, 5 days, I think I would shave my mustache off for you, but that's a lot of followers in 5 days. That's why I'm pretty sure I could put my stash on the line, if you know what I mean. I'm not about it. Got time to be posting videos. I know, Nicole. But you know, you just never know what's going on. I mean, some people that you'll see on TikTok will have other videos posted, but nothing of themselves. I always just like to make sure that's a pretty risky challenge. Yeah, 10,000 followers, but we got to get it. You know, if we don't get 10,000 followers on YouTube, then I would have to not let you see that. But then if we were to get 10,000 followers on TikTok, you know, you never know. I put it out there, so you got till next Monday. We get to 10,000 followers, well, then I'll actually shave it off right here on live, so you can see it, because I told my wife that she fell off the couch laughing at me. Thanks for the follow, Rough Dog. I had 4 like and someone. Oh no, man, I hate to hear that, Rough Dog. You had 4.6 million like and someone hacked you. Yeah. Dang. You know, that's the thing, is a lot of times you'll get where it's a follower and you don't know. I mean, some of them, you know, like, hey, this looks like a bot. I'm probably not gonna. I mean, I guess if you ever get to where you follow 10,000 people, the way I understand it on TikTok, that's your max. You can't follow more than that many people. So I try to follow the people that I think are kind of, you know, we're all about the same thing. You know, we're all creating content, and we're trying to, support each other. What are you shaving off? Your eyebrows? No, my mustache, big guys. What are you shaving off? Yeah, my mustache. Hey, Kim, good morning. How are you doing? You and Kelly over here. I haven't Kelly, I'm writing it down now. I did not get to that this weekend because, I wasn't going to do any projects this weekend because I've done the project on the garage door and then the cedar accent wall in the other side of the shop. So I'd done that. And so this weekend I wasn't going to do any projects. And Saturday morning, I don't know, 10 or so, my wife wanted to go to Sam's. We had to pick up a few things. And so we while we're in Sam's Club, we saw together at the same time, one of those Suncast storage buildings, and it's one of the smaller ones. I think it's 6 foot by 4 foot. It's really made for just like storing ladders and your lawn tools and that stuff. And I have all of that stuff in my shop, but all that stuff takes up pretty valuable room when I'm trying to do a project and I'm having to work around all that stuff. So and they had it like 50% off. It's normally, I think they run about $400, and I was able to get one for $200. So I had to pull the trigger on that, and I purchased it, brought it home. And so Saturday I didn't start on it because I was busy doing some other stuff. And then yesterday afternoon, after lunch, I thought, well, maybe I'll start on it and finish it today. Well, I actually was able to unbox it. It says you need 2 people, but not really. You can do it by yourself. 2 people make it go a little faster, but I was able to take it out of the box, put it all together, maybe 3 hours by myself. And a lot of that was the base and the 3 walls went up pretty easily. Then when I had to start adding hardware to it, all the mounting brackets, the doors, that's what took a little longer. But yeah, it was relatively easy. It's all put together and full of material: wood, wheelbarrow, ladders, dollies, stuff that you need but you don't need every day. So yeah, anyway, it turned out real good. So I didn't get to watch your matter of fact, I want to write this down right now, Kelly. Hey, Kelly, do me a favor. Put in the comments a reminder, because then after the live's over, I always look at the comments. And if there's a comment there, then I'll go check that out. And maybe even if and you got time, just go to that video like you're going to share it and copy the link and email me the link to that video, and I'll go check it out, and then we can talk about it. All right. So remember, Rough Dog having back surgery? Well, absolutely, we'll add you to our prayer list. I hope it's not too serious. Yeah. My dad had back surgery once, and I've known several people, and, they say, a lot of people say that it really makes a big difference, depending on what the issue is, of course. Big Scotsman first, windstorm. Yeah, I don't think that one's going down. I anchored it to the, it's anchored to a concrete slab with 4 3/8 Tapcon bolts and washers. So, it could, but not likely. Plus, it's surrounded on 3 sides by another storage building and a privacy fence. So, yeah, we'll see. I hope that's not the case. But I don't believe it's going to go anywhere. I think where I placed it will be fine. Chasing it down the street crying. It fell apart. Well, yeah, I hope not. But we'll see, and we'll go from there. But yeah, and we've had some pretty good windstorms through here. But you know, I'm surrounded by houses and trees, and not that the wind can't blow. It does blow, but we'll see how well it holds up. Okay, so let's get back to this. So I want to cover this real quick while we have a few people on. Like I said, if you haven't gotten your entry in for the pocket knife, make sure you send me that email to daveshop2@gmail.com. In the subject line, type in Benchmade raffle, something so I know you're interested. Nicole is the only, and of course I hadn't checked it this morning, but the last time I checked it, Nicole was the only person who has entered the raffle so far. I was gonna switch here and let's just look and see if we've gotten any other. No. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody, so I'll just let me show everybody again that I am giving away a Benchmade pocket knife. If you do it right. Yeah. Well, I think I did. Like I said, I used, I've got the base down, bolted to a concrete slab. Like I said, it's surrounded by other things, so I'm thinking it's probably going to be fine. But we'll see. We'll see how it holds up. So let me show you the Benchmade pocket knife I'm giving away. It's a really nice. And you know, I made a video last week, and I have several Benchmade knives in the showcase, and I thought it was one price. The price dropped. I think these right now, if you were buying them, are, you know, in the $20 range. But it'd be a great little pocket knife to carry with you. It's not too heavy, super sharp. Benchmade is right here in the US. Anyway, I'm going to give this knife away. It comes with a little carrying case. I wouldn't keep it there, but you know, if you're just a collector and you wanted to keep it, it does have that. So if you want to enter, make sure you send me an email so that I'm giving this away. I hadn't decided when we're going to draw. I want to do it like when we're on a live. You do have to, there's two qualifications. You have to send me the email, tell me you want to be in the contest, and add your name to it. And secondly, you have to be inside the United States. I can't ship outside the US. So yeah, there you go. That's what we're going to do. I'll remind everybody this week. Hopefully by Friday, I'll have enough people respond that we can have we'll have a drawing, a raffle live, and I think it'll be fun. And it's my way, just, you know, one of my ways of saying thank you for all the support that everybody comes regularly, and all of that fun. It's a real Benchmade. Well, let me show you this, Big Scotsman. So that's what it came in. And right there says it's made in the US, and it does have their logo stamped on. Maybe I didn't show it close enough. You can see their little butterfly logo on the knife. So when you ask, is it really bench made or or did it come from TikTok? It came from a vendor on TikTok Shop, yes. But yes, this is a bench made knife. As far as I know, I mean, um, I don't know how they could hold themselves out to be anybody other than that. It is an original bench-made pocket knife. So if you're interested, put your name in the hat. The email address, so for everybody on YouTube, the email address is Dave's Shop, the number 2 at gmail.com. Okay, and it's in the bio, but just to let you know. And I posted it for everybody on TikTok. Unfortunately, when you're going live on a mobile device, you don't have that option. So let me see here. Shifty26, thank you. What's the best thing about being married? I think the best thing about being married is you have somebody to come home to every day. I've been married, going on 48 years. And so I've been married nearly as long as I've been alive. And I think being married is whatever you put into it. So, it's a two-way street. If you're looking for somebody to tell you that being married every day is a cakewalk, it's not. It's a long-term commitment to someone, and you're going to have good days. You're going to have not so good days, but you just got to learn to roll with the flow and know that it's just like the real world. We all have good days and bad days. But for me anyway, I like having someone to come home to. I don't know that I could ever be single or be by myself. But I've been married a long time, and she's a good cook too, so that always helps. Backyard Mule, good morning. Good morning. Yes, we're giving away the Benchmade. So everybody start sending me. All right, I see. I'm actually watching my email at this time, and so there you go. Ed's in the running. If you're over here on YouTube, make sure you send me an email. Charles rocks. Charles, why would you ask that question? I don't have any problem with anybody's faith. Grand Rising Day. Ruled by Saturn. Good morning. Thank you for joining, though, everybody. Robert, good morning. I know it's been a while, but I'm glad you're back. Yeah, so we were just talking about the raffle real quick. We are going to... Hunter following. Thanks, Hunter. Appreciate that. Trump or Biden? Well, not Biden. I voted for Trump. Not that I agree 100% with everything he does, but yeah. I just sent my entry in. Okay, good. I'm just piling up. Treville Flores just joined. Good morning, Treville. Spleen Ray just joined. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm going to talk about and remind people about the Benchmade pocket knife giveaway every day this week, and then we're gonna actually have a drawing for a live, and whoever the winner is, I'll ship it to you. You have to be in the United States. You do not have to purchase anything. You don't even have to like me. But it would be nice if you liked, shared, and followed. But that's not a requirement. Okay, so everybody knows it's Groundhog Day. And it was really funny when I was looking at this stuff and thinking about Groundhog Day. So I have a question for you. This is kind of a history question. You know, this whole holiday started many years ago, and initially it wasn't a groundhog that they watched. Does anyone know what the original animal was that they used instead of a groundhog? I hope I wrote it down because I can't remember exactly what it was either here. I'm just looking at my notes. Oh, yeah. There we go. I got it. Does anybody know what the original animal was that started this tradition that when they first started celebrating that they watched to see if it got if it saw its shadow or not? And it wasn't a groundhog. A little bit of inside history if you didn't know that. Anybody know that answer? Good morning, sir. I'm glad you're back, Robert. I appreciate you. Okay, I see a couple of entries have come in. Don't forget, Aaron. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Well, we'll move on, and then I'll come back and tell you. And don't Google it. If you don't know the answer, then you don't know the answer. So here's another. Here's another question about Groundhog's Day. Roughly, Punxsutawney Phil, how accurate is his prediction? Does anybody know in general how accurate his predictions are? Whether, we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter or if spring's right around the corner. If you have a guess, put it in the comments what your guess is. Kelly, I'm so excited. It's finally warming up. Michigan's in the 20s today. That's great. I'm working on. Oh, Kelly, that's wonderful. Absolutely. It's really hard to quit smoking and chewing tobacco but I tell you what, it's worth it. The journey's worth the results. Robert, I've been really good. Hey, want to be in competition. What competition are you talking about, Robert? Rabbit? Nope. Kelly, it's not a rabbit. Ruled by Saturn, can't say that I do. Probably as accurate as the weatherman's. Well, that's pretty good. I was actually looking for a percentage. What percentage of the time do you think he's right? Roger says 6 weeks of winter. Chris, don't use a. Okay, I don't use a clue. Oh, that's pretty funny. Groundhogs is also. So Kelly, are you saying it's your birthday today? It's what it looks like. Oh, tell me yes or no, Kelly. Is it your birthday today? What I'm seeing here is it looks like you're saying today is your birthday. No, my boyfriend. Oh, Kelly, that's too funny. Groundhog's not your boyfriend. Ed Y joined. Good morning. LS just joined. Good morning. Jay Chisel, just wanted to share. I went back to school. Jay, that's outstanding that you went back to school. What are you studying, Jay? Let us know. Opening day of gun season. Okay. So yeah, Anybody who tells me it's their birthday, I haven't done this yet, but I'm either going to sing happy birthday to you, and everybody else would sing to you, but you wouldn't be able to hear them. Zan Lukic from Croatia just joined us on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're having a great day, staying safe, and all that fun stuff. Catch me in a couple of years as a PA. That's phenomenal. Did you get into PA school? You know, I have some experience with, not myself. I was going to be a doctor. I just couldn't get past that science thing, and I'm not sure why they wouldn't let me be a doctor. But anyway, so I worked with a young lady, and I met her when I worked for not Marriott, but the company that I was working for was Starwood, and it was before Marriott bought us. And she was working in a call center, and how I met her was that she was really down one day, and I could tell something was wrong with her. And I had a work order to work on her computer. And so I sat down there, and as I was working on her computer, she kind of became emotional. And I was like, oh, Lord, what did I do? And it wasn't anything I did. Hey, Clay, she was emotional because she had spent a lot of time, money, and resources trying to get into a PA school. And apparently, from what she told me, every time you apply to a PA school, it costs a few $100s to apply. And she had gotten her 4-year degree, and she was trying to get into PA school. And she had been really struggling, and she was struggling with the fact that she thought that since she was limited on how much money she had, because she was paying her own way through school. She didn't come from a wealthy family. She had just worked really hard and focused on that. And I told her, I said, well, even if you don't get into PA school, you got a bachelor's degree. And, I would try to encourage her not to give up. And so anyway, fixed her computer, and we had a little short conversation while I was doing that. And then we were done. And, at the time, there were 700 people in that building. So it wasn't unusual that I would see someone and then maybe not see them again for weeks and sometimes months. And I didn't see her. And so I really thought that she had quit, because the turnover rate in a call center a lot of times really high. And but she hadn't quit. It was a few months later. So this happened probably in the summertime, and then when I saw her again was right before Christmas, and she ran up to me and let me know that she had finally gotten accepted into a PA school. But she had to go to, I don't remember the city, I just know it was up on the East Coast somewhere, outside the state of Texas. So she was going to have to move off. And so she did. She left the company and went off to PA school. And, I didn't figure I'd ever see her again. And so it was probably at least 2 years. I'm not sure exactly how long PA school is. It could have been 3 years. And it was really funny. I'm walking across a parking lot at a Home Depot, and I hear behind me somebody holler out my name. And I'm like, Lord of mercy, who knows me here? I'm just out in the parking lot. And I turn around, and there she was with her, she was with her grandfather, and she had just graduated PA school. So whatever you decide, don't quit, get in that PA. Those are hard to get into. And I'm telling you, you can make a great living as a PA. I see PA when I go to the doctor. I think a lot of people do these days. And many times, just my opinion, I think PAs listen better. They spend more time with the patients. And so a lot of times PAs do really good work. That's a great profession. So congratulations, Jay. So there's my story about PAs and success. So, trying to get an education and do something you wanted to, it's tough. It's expensive. It requires commitment and lots of it. And, it's easy to get down and think, wow, I've tried to do this over and over again and not been successful. But the people who make it through are the people who don't give up and keep going at it. If you have a dream and you want to do something, you just have to stick to it. And getting into a PA school is tough, and what you learn is tough because you're going to be working under a medical doctor's license, and so anyway, congrats, Jay Chiz. Just keep going at it, buddy. I love yours. Thank you. Zan from Croatia said she likes the wall behind me. I appreciate it. Thank you. You get a lot of comments on that. So thank you for joining us all the way from Croatia too. I don't think we've ever had anybody from Croatia join us. Lord Scone. Yeah. Oh, it's Monday. I think I was sitting on the couch last night. It was probably about 9 o'clock. And I was thinking to myself, wow, I need to kind of think about what to talk about on Mondays. Mondays to me is the hardest day of the week to go live because just coming up with what to have a conversation about sometimes. What's your best to get anyone? What is your best piece of advice to give to anyone? I think there's a lot smarter people that give out advice than I am. But if I was going to give you one piece of advice, this is my advice. If I don't know how old you are, but it really doesn't matter how old you are. At some point, you're going to be my age and retired. And unless you want to be eaten, and I don't say this lightly because I don't mean to scare people, but here's a good thing to remember: you have to save. You have to live for today because we don't know what's coming tomorrow. But you have to save like you're going to live for tomorrow. And if you don't save and plan your retirement now, and I think everybody should start when they're 18 if their parents can afford it, and help you get started prior to that, great. But the responsibility lies on you and you alone. And if you think anyone else is responsible for your retirement and being able to take care of yourself, you're wrong. It's all on you. So saving and investing is something that is a long-term effort, and people get discouraged a lot of time. Life happens. They want to go borrow the money, but you have to put the money away and forget about it. Don't pay attention to the market up and down. Get you a good financial advisor, somebody you trust, somebody that when you ask a question can answer it, and that reviews your portfolio at least once a year. If you ever get someone that you don't trust, like a best friend, you probably got the wrong advisor. But anyway, do that. put your money, if you don't want to do an advisor and you want to keep up with it yourself, my advice would be to go through Fidelity or Vanguard and invest your money in the S&P 500. So start investing today when you're young, and then that way you'll thank yourself when you get to retirement age, because there's two things in retirement that absolutely are must. And you would think money might be the first thing, but it's not. It's your health. So if you're not healthy and retired, retirement's probably not going to be much fun. But if you're healthy and you can take care of the business and keep a roof over your head and feed yourself and take care of that responsibility, you will thank yourself way down the road. And if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to pass on some of that to your immediate family and maybe grandchildren. Used to you heard that saying, from rags to riches. That's because families would at some generation would have land and build wealth, and that wealth would be passed on from generation to generation, just like the Rockefellers and some of the really wealthy people. But today, it can still be done, but the way they have the tax laws and stuff set up, it's tough. I want to leave my daughter and my grandchildren a good start. But I got to be able to take care of myself first. So save often and start young. So there you go. That's my advice to you. Take it for what you will. Excuse me. Speaking, I'm hitting the road. Salute to have a good day. Okay, Rule by Saturn, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. Michelle, truth. I'll be working until I drop. Well, I hope not. Everybody thinks that, me too. I think I'm healthy. I was like, I'm going to work till I'm 75. I like working. I didn't pick this path. Somebody else picked it for me. When they tell you God's in control, he's in control. You might not think so. You might not see it that way. But trust me when I tell you he is in control. And so he doesn't always put a letter in the mailbox to you directly saying, hey, this is what you need to do. But, he does talk to us, all of us. We just sometimes don't hear. And I'm guilty for that too. But anyway, if you listen really close, you'll know he's in control. Yeah. That's not work. I agree, Chris. If you enjoy your job, and I really enjoyed my job, I enjoyed the people I worked with. I didn't have a boss that, had his thumb on me all the time. Matter of fact, out of the last 7 or 8 years that I worked for the guy, I only met him one time, and it was in an airport when he happened to be coming through town, and had about a 30-minute conversation with him face to face. And that was the only time I ever saw him. So they pretty much let me run stuff in Texas and several other states. So that was always really nice. Not that I didn't have to answer to somebody, but Zan on YouTube says she has 5 medals for doing nothing. That's pretty funny. I know. And that's great. I always think that if you like what you're doing, you don't see it as work. It's just part of your life, and it's just what you do. And when you like your work and you get paid well, then it's or you get paid enough, or what everybody determines what their time's worth. But yeah, so And, you got to have a good mix between work and family. And, if you have that flexibility, it goes a long way, long way. I had 10 weeks when this all went down. I had 10 weeks of vacation time, and people are like, 10 weeks of vacation? How do you get 10 weeks of vacation time? Well, because when you really like what you do and you love your job, you just, try to stay healthy, and you don't, miss work, because, a lot of people miss work because they don't like their jobs. They don't like their boss. They don't like the people they work with, and they feel stuck. And so, if all of that doesn't happen, well, then there you go. Zan, and valid for nothing like Vietnam veteran. Yeah, Vietnam veterans got a pretty raw deal. I'll agree with you there, Zan. But I think a lot of people are doing better. Big Red 1692. That's funny. Thank you for joining, Big Red. I call my sister-in-law Big Red, and she didn't even have red hair, but she used to. I had 2.5 years of sick time built up and 6 months of vacation when I retired from DPS. That's crazy. Well, what's crazy about that too, Chris, is that they allowed, by 400 hours, that was the max. You couldn't, the company wouldn't let you accrue more than 10 weeks of leave. And I know guys that, didn't have 2 days of leave left because they called out every time the weather changed. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's great. So when you retired, did you just have that 2.5 years of sick time and the 6 months of vacation? Did you just have it where you continued to get your regular paycheck, or did they try to pay you that in one big lump sum, Chris? Let's see here. Refresh. There we go. Starting to get some, yeah. Come on, guys. I thought there were going to be a lot more people putting their name in the hat for this giveaway. The less people that, put your name in the hat, the less people in the raffle, the greater the chance that you're going to be the one that gets picked. So if you're, slow morning. Vacation time rolled over to sick. Okay. Chilly Monday. How cold is it where you're at, Lord Scone, right now on Monday? It added to my total years of service, so your check was bigger. So what it did was it affected your retirement, like what you get, your pension. It increased your pension. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Feels like 7 degrees outside. Yeah. It's in the 40s here, Lord Scone. I got up this morning, went outside with the dogs, and I was like, oh, I thought it was a little chilly. But yeah, nothing like 7 degrees. That's good, Chris. That's good. A state retirement is so, my wife had, pensions. A lot of people don't have pensions anymore. You just have a 401k or individual IRA if you're self-employed, or something to that effect. But pensions are the way to go. If you can find a job you love and you can work for either a school district, the county. A lot of the counties are still have pensions. The states, if you work for a state agency, they have pensions. There may be some others. I'm just not sure. My wife and my sister-in-law both. My wife has a pension from the um, school TEA, and my sister-in-law worked for Travis County, and she has a pension from them. So I've got several people in the family that have pensions, and they all say it's a great thing to have. So, and with the new law and a pension, you can draw, if you've paid into Social Security, you can also draw your Social Security without being penalized anymore. That windfall tax went away. So that's a good thing. Faux Real Tex, what's up? Oh, it's sorry. I know that funerals are part of your job, but those probably never get. It's probably not something that's your favorite thing to have to do. So we'll be thinking about you today, Ed. Be safe, and have a good day. And I'll see you in the morning. Thank you. Thank you for joining. 30 years, hard times, sick time. Added to that's great. That's great. Yeah, the Chris, the TA, the way that works is it's years of service up to, I think, they have a formula. So I think the max is you get the max at 30 years, and then it's the average of your best 5 years income wise plus 2.3%. So that's how they calculate it. And luckily when my wife retired, she makes as much money as she did when in retirement as she did while she was working, with a whole lot less stress. So that's a good deal. That's good. That's great. Okay, so I've started to see a few more people put their name in the hat. Let me just quick reminder, I'm having a raffle for this Benchmade pocket knife. If you want in on it, make sure, and you have to be in the US. I can't ship it outside the country. Make sure you put your name in the hat. Send me an email, daveshop2@gmail.com, and we are going to draw the names. I haven't decided exactly what date yet, but in the near future. And so if you don't get your name in the hat, you won't have a shot at it. If you want a shot at it, send me the email. And make sure you put in the subject Benchmade or raffle or something, so that I know I'm entering your name, and then we'll draw the names live. And I'll let everybody know what day we're going to be drawing for the pocket knife. And then, of course, I'll have to get your name and your full address and a phone number so that I can ship it to you. Kelly over here on YouTube, remember the years ago when police department in Detroit lost their pension? Yeah, okay, so let's talk about that. 401ks, I think, actually began in the Ronald Reagan years, and you're right, pensions failed, and what you were seeing is pensions failed before people ever drew any money from it. Companies struggled, like if they went under, pensions were insured. So even if the company went out of business, the pension was supposed to be protected. But you saw pensions fail, and you started to see cities' pensions fail. And you're right about the Detroit Police Department lost their pension plan. Their pension went under. And the government stepped up and eventually tried to help with that, but it was never like it would have been if they would have drawn their full pension. And that's where 401ks come out. So 33 to 34 years, you hit your max. Lose dollar if you stay longer. Yeah, law enforcement is a little different. You know, it's like federal. If you're a federal law enforcement officer, their mandatory retirement age is age 57. So I get it. And being a DPS officer, I get that too. You know, if you can be there 33, 34 years, that's a long time to work someplace. So, you know, anyway, back to the 401ks. That's why they passed it where, and of course, I'm sure there were all these major corporations that were behind it. And when they went to a 401k plan, and basically what they did is they transferred all the responsibility from companies to individuals with the 401k plans. And they, you know, contributed to people's 401ks, but nothing like they would have contributed if you were drawing a pension. And so, yeah, that's why I tell people, if you have a 401k, your retirement is your responsibility, whether you're the only person that contributes to it, or if you're fortunate enough that you can get a company to, you know, contribute a certain percentage to it, then by all means, definitely be involved and be, you know, consistent. So the one thing you have on your side as far as investing is time. And if you don't have time, you got to consistently put money there, and you need time. And over time, you will come out ahead of the game and should be able to do that. What was your email? Okay, so Kelly, the email is Dave's Shop 2 at gmail.com. Dave's Shop 2 at gmail.com. And when I say number 2, I mean like the number 2. I wanted it to just be Dave's Shop at gmail.com, but Dave's Shop is so common, I was unable to get that email. So that's as close as I could get it. And, you know, a lot of times I've thought about changing the Dave's Shop, but I've had it too long and too many people look at that. And so I'm in a process of trying to let people know that Dave's Shop is not a mechanic shop. It's not a cabinet making shop. It's just the name of the channel. And, you know, most people, they go out and you know, when you have a name like that, you have to try to get people to associate your content with your face and your name. And, you know, of course, my name's Dave, so, or David, but people call me Dave, which is fine. And so that's why you saw me starting naming everything, you know, Morning Coffee Talk Live with Dave. And if you see some of the videos, you'll see that, because I'm trying to associate Dave's Shop with my face and my name. And that's just the first step. Hang on, let me get TikTok wants to make sure I'm a live person. And so that's just the first step of branding. There's some other stuff, but I hadn't, you know, moved to the further steps yet. So yeah, eventually I'd like to have some professional headshots so that I could incorporate a personal photo in the logo, so that people, you know, when it comes up, they would see Dave's Shop, but they would also see a picture of me, and they wouldn't think it was somebody else's shop. So yeah, What's your plan today? Okay. If you're asking me, Lord Scone, what is my plan today? Well, I plan to do this. I've got videos to post. I have some affiliate marketing videos to create. I don't know. I'm probably going to go on a walk because it's supposed to be a real pretty day. I'm going to try to do my 5-mile walk today. Maybe I'll hold the phone up and do a quick short. I wished, Ed last year when he was doing that take a walk, take a picture, I don't think people realized what kind of commitment that takes. Cesar, good morning. King safe. Good morning. Thank you for joining, King. I just don't think people know. Gary, what up? All the way from Ireland. My last name's Dunnigan. I'm Irish. And I've never been to Ireland. I've worked with people that were in Ireland, and I've always wanted to go there. Maybe before I die. It's on my bucket list. Live stream the walk. Yeah, I could do that. I was going to live stream some stuff. I'm trying to figure out, like, when I live stream, if I'm out live streaming, I can't live stream from my mobile device, YouTube and TikTok. So I will have to pick one when I live stream. And if I do it on the walk, it's probably going to be on TikTok. Mainly nothing against YouTube. I love YouTube. But Ed is on, I don't know how he did that. I'll have to figure out. I think he just created the video in general and then posted. But his were videos. His weren't live. But, if you go live and you're doing that, I think that's a great idea. Just, kind of hold the phone. Sometimes people don't stay because it's hard to keep it focused on yourself while you're doing that. But yeah, I'm going to have to try that, Lord Scone. But anyway, so like back to Ed, he did that for 300. Think about this, 365 days, rain, sleet, or snow. He did some kind of a walk and a video. And sometimes his walks were, we only saw short portions of his walk, but he was walking enough that he lost 30 pounds in a year just walking. But think about that commitment. You pick something that you could do every single day. I mean, every day. Raining, tough. Get out there. Cold, below zero, doesn't matter. Get out there and make yourself do it for 365 days. That is a committed individual. And we could all use that type of commitment in whatever we do, whatever you decide to do. I don't know if I could do the same thing for 365 days. I hope I can. I'm not saying that I'm going to do that. What I've said is I want to get out and walk more. I think I'm pretty active in the spring and the summer. I love working outside. I like working on my lawn. I think when it gets to be spring, maybe I'll make some videos or do some lives and talk about, lawn care. Not that I'm an expert. I'm surprised Mowing God's not jumped on here. He's owned, run, and operated a landscaping company, so I'm sure he knows way more than I did. I only know what I've learned on my own, and I worked for the Scott's Miracle Grow fertilizer company for a little over a year, and I learned a lot of stuff while I worked for them. But yeah. Yes, Kelly, you did it. I got it. Thank you. Like I said, the more the merrier. We're giving away a Benchmade pocket knife, or I'm giving it away. And so if you want to be entered in the contest, You got to send me an email to daveshop2@gmail.com. On TikTok, I posted it in the comments. And in the subject, just, no purchase necessary. Type in Benchmade, raffle, giveaway, something so I know that you want to be entered in the drawing, and then we're going to draw live on the show. And this is just the first item, and I'll show it again. It's just the box. This is the first drawing we're going to do. I have already another item that I want to do a separate drawing on, but I just want to get through this first one here. I've never actually done a drawing online. I mean, I've seen people do it on YouTube, and there's a lot of stuff that goes with it. I'm just trying to keep it. I had to get Moth to let me eat a donut today. She said no. Dang, no donut, Chris. I love donut. If I could eat, if you ever come through this part of the country, stop in Round Rock, Texas, and get a Round Rock donut. They are nationally known, and I'm telling you, they'll make you nearly want to slap yourself. They're so good. So yeah, if you're ever through here, stop. And Chris, I'm surprised when you were with DPS. I know you bound to have had to come to Austin at least a few times in your career for work. I'm surprised you never stopped in Round Rock and got a Round Rock donut. You may have. My dad was so sensitive. You could not tell donut jokes about police officers. He'd just get fighting mad. And I know some people probably do it like being disrespectful, but I find it comical, some of the stuff that I've seen about, police officers and donuts. But what you don't realize is, and I know, not that I was ever a police officer, but I've done tons of ride-alongs. And when I say tons, I mean, if you put them all together, I probably have been out on patrol with police officers at least, if you added all the time together, at least a full year, maybe longer. And, at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, everybody's human. They get tired. And a lot of times there's coffee shops that are open 24 hours a day. Now I think mostly as convenience stores, but in the day, a lot of times it'd be coffee shops, or the coffee shops would be opening. If they'd been closed, they opened up pretty early in the morning. And donut shops, think about it. They get there really early and they're making the donuts. And so a lot of times they open really early. And so those were always perfect places to stop and, get a cup of coffee and a quick donut. And they always got donuts because, they could be sitting there, get a call, and have to jump up and run out the door. And so a donut was always quick. And I don't know about everybody else, but when I was a kid, my dad on Saturdays sometimes would take me to get a haircut. It was a big deal, not to just get a haircut, but to get my boots shined. I'd get to get a shoe shine while I was there. And then we would go to the cafe on the square. And, of course, my dad would have coffee. And used to, you could get a cup of coffee and a little saucer that, would have a donut on it, or, at the cafe. And I just remember that as some really fun Saturday mornings. It was nothing like getting a haircut first and then, or getting your boots shined. Oh my God. There was a barbershop on the square where my dad was a police officer in Garland, Texas. And that's where all the police officers got their haircut and their shoes shine. Used to, you would see, police officers' shoes were always, they polished. When you actually polish shoes, people don't really do that much anymore, but a lot of them wore boots. Some just wore shoes, dress shoes, and they'd go in there and get their shoes polished. Oh my God, and hear that rag pop. You know, that was some any fun ride along stories. Yeah. I worked here in Austin with Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission for a year. I had applied to go to work for them every Sunday evening. There you go. And I knew the guy that was the head of the agency here in Austin, and so I'd met some of the agents, and they allowed ride-alongs. Of course, you had to sign a waiver so that if you were to get hurt in the field, you wouldn't hold the state liable. But I wanted to see exactly what they did, and so yeah, there's a couple of times, and I rode with them for pretty good while. Not every weekend because different things happen, but a lot of Saturday nights I would ride with them, and there were a couple of traffic stops that kind of got a little crazy. I'll tell you a story about one. There were two TABC agents. I happened to be riding with one of them. The other one, I don't remember why he was riding with us too. So there's three of us in a car, and it made a DWI traffic stop when the traffic stop happened. It was for, like I said, DWI, and the one agent that was in charge was talking on the radio. The other agent, as soon as we get stopped, he bails out, runs toward, this is not proper behavior, jumps out of the car, pulls his pistol out, runs up to the passenger side, and is hollering for him to get out. Well, that's not how you do a traffic stop. You don't. And why he did it, we have no idea. Well, when he hollers get out, they literally opened all four doors, and there was about 6 huge Hispanic males get out of the car. And so, yeah, that was a little scary. I can't really tell you what happened after that, but yeah, it turned into a really big deal. So I don't know if anybody remembers the case in Austin, the yogurt shop murders of the young girls here in Austin. It's been on the news. They finally, after, I don't know, 30 something years, they found through DNA who actually committed the crime, at least one of them. And that night that happened to be a yogurt shop that my wife and I always went to. We loved their yogurt. And yeah, they did have young girls in there that were, it was an ice cream shop or a yogurt shop. It was a big deal. That shop was really popular at that time. And on that night, I was on patrol with TABC agent that I'm still friends with. He's retired now, and we got a call. So TABC would back up Travis County and Austin Police if something happened and somebody couldn't get to them, and we were in close by, and we happened to be close by because on a few blocks over, there was a long, it's called Burnett Road, and there were several nightclubs we had been in checking license, and got that call. And so we rolled on that call. We were the second unit. We were second unit on scene, and we didn't go in. Wow. So luckily, like I said, we didn't go in, but we were outside, and you know, who would have thought? Hmm. Anyway, yeah. So that was probably, if you want to call that excitement. Yeah, that's a story. But anyway, yeah. So it's 7:21. Let's see what the polish. Chris gets his. Yep, I still have a shoe shine box in my closet, and I polish my boots every time before I go anywhere. Most of the time, I don't wear boots anymore because, well, I have a knee issue as part of it, and I had plantar fasciitis so bad, and it's never ever been 100%. So I have a really nice pair of boots I wear, dress boots. But as far as wearing boots every day like I used to when I was younger, no, my feet won't hold up to it. But yeah. Well, Lord, let's go. So I'll tell you a funny one. We're down on 6th Street. I'm with the ABC. We go into a nightclub, and there's two agents in the nightclub. The one I'm riding with is behind the bar, and it's a Friday. It's either a Friday or Saturday night, and the place is just packed with people. And the agent that we were with happened to be that he wasn't riding with us. He was on patrol separately, but he was in the nightclub too. And he decided to, the guy that I was with was behind the bar checking license, and I was just, standing in the crowd watching and seeing what was going on, and watching people. And there was an intoxicated individual on the dance floor, and the agent got out or assumed that the guy was, he was having fun, and I'm sure he was somewhat intoxicated, but he decides that he is going to make an arrest for public intoxication. And the guy he hadn't done anything. He was just having a good time, but it wasn't my call. I was standing on sidelines, and and the guy is probably, I don't know, average size, 5'8", probably weighed 180 pounds, pretty good shape. Look, he was and a younger fella. And he goes out there and tells him on the dance floor that he's going to put him under arrest for public intoxication. And the guy had a different opinion, and he took his hands, open palm, and hit him in the chest. And of course, knocked the agent down, and the agent goes sliding across the dance floor. Well, let me tell you, the fight is on. The guy that I rode with was pretty good sized fella. He was probably, I don't know, 6'4". He probably went 250. So, and he was in pretty good shape too. And so he comes out behind the bar, and anyway, we're all involved trying to subdue the guy and get him cuffed. And I mean, when I tell you the fight's on, he was all three of us could do to keep up with him. He ended up breaking his thumb because he wouldn't put his hand behind his back to get him cuffed. So we get him cuffed, take him outside, put him in the car, and as soon as he sits down in the back of the car and he knows he's going to jail, he just burst into tears like a little kid. And we're like, what in the world's going on? And that's when he informs us that he is a military officer from Fort Hood. and that guy was in some serious trouble. Not just because he assaulted a peace officer, but because he was in the military. And he was really worried about going to jail in Austin, Texas. He was worried about what the military was going to do to him. So that's kind of a more lighthearted one. Kelly, thank you very much. Have a great day. Hey, everybody, don't forget, send me your entry for the giveaway. It's 7:26. I'm fixing to take a deep breath. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on Monday. We kind of got off on some other stuff. It is Groundhog Day, and they usually right now in Gobbler's Knob, Pennsylvania. That's where they do the deal. Usually about 7:25 Eastern time is when they do it, to see if he's going to see his shadow. And just as a quick deal, Phil has seen his shadow 100 in history. He's seen his shadow 109 times. And so that's about 84% of the time he sees his shadow. So I really think he's going to see his shadow today too. But let's see. Let's find out if he's going to actually see his shadow today on Groundhog Day. I hope everybody has a great Groundhog Day. Let me just look if there was anything else. Talked about the giveaway, and last but not least, some important people's info for February the 2nd. The first one being Farrah Fawcett. She was born in 1947 and passed away in 2009. Everybody remembers that. And then how about this one? George Hallis, his birthday is today. He was born in 1895, died in 83, and he was the co-founder of the NFL and the Chicago Bears. This year, sports-wise, we all know it's the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots will be playing in the Super Bowl this year. And it cracks me up. Halftime show is Bad Bunny. Hold your hand up if you're going to watch that. I can't hold my hand up because I won't watch it. I don't even know who that is. But the current odds, if you're a betting man, and I'm not a betting man, but the current odds is Seattle by 4.5. So if you think maybe you're not a Seattle's fan, so think about this. Tomorrow, come back 6 a.m. For morning coffee talk, and let me know who you pick to win the Super Bowl. And we can talk about that too if you want. Also, the invitation is out there. If you ever want to talk about a specific subject, by all means, let me know. Step up. Tell me, hey, can we talk about this, that? I'd like to have a little warning about whatever you want to talk about. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But just so that I could do a little research and be prepared if we're going to talk about a subject. Maybe it's a 5-minute discussion, or it could take over the whole time. So whatever. But if you ever have any ideas, let me know. Send again my email, daveshop, the number 2 at gmail.com. If you have any questions, you've got any suggestions, send it to that email address. Again, I'll also extend this out. I'm always looking for question of the day. If you have a question of the day that you would like for me to use, you have to send it to me. Send it to that email address. Make sure the question of the day is appropriate. And if I use your question of the day, I'll make sure that you're tagged And on the live, I'll read the question of the day and make sure that you get credit for it in the video and on the live. And I'd love for people to send me some questions of the day, because sometimes I just, sometimes I sit down and go, oh man, I've got the perfect question, and I'll jot it down. And other days, my wife's like, what are you doing? And I'm sitting here in front of my computer, and I cannot come up with a question of the day to save your life. Not that I can't come up with a question, but like I'll come up with a question and go, yeah, no, I don't like that. Or that doesn't seem like it would be very engaging, or that's dumb, or, so anybody want to get in on that? You can send me as many as you would like, but definitely get in and send that. So it's 7:31. I don't know about Punxsutawney Phil and Gobbler's Knob. So I'm guessing, I think he's going to see his shadow, and I think we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter, at least on the northern United States and the East Coast. For Texas, maybe not so. I don't know. We haven't really had much of a winter. We did have a little bit of ice a week or so ago, but like I said, this week the highs are going to be back in the 70s. So yeah. Gunter X Hunter follow. Thanks, Gunter. Appreciate that. Thank you. So like I said, one last reminder, if you want in the drawing for the Benchmade pocket knife, send me an email to daveshop2@gmail.com. We will draw for that on the live. You have to be in the United States, and make sure you put in the subject Benchmade or raffle or giveaway, something. No purchase necessary. If you do, I'm always up for likes, shares, and follows, subscribes. I'm trying to get to 10,000. I put a challenge out there. You get me to 10,000 on YouTube or TikTok. Really, I'd like to be there on too. And by this time next week, on Monday, I will shave my mustache off live. If we're not at 10,000, I'm not doing it. So do what you do. Y'all have a good day. Go do something kind, and I'll see y'all in the morning at 6 a.m. Thank you for joining me.